There is something your dog has been hoping for since the day they came home with you. They don't have language for it. They can't ask for it directly. But if you watch them, really watch them, you can see it in the way they position themselves near you, the way they look at you when you're on your phone, the way they drift closer when you're finally still. They are waiting for something specific, something most owners never fully understand. And the research makes clear that what it is and what happens when it finally comes is one of the most biologically significant moments in the relationship between a dog and the person they've built their life around. 1. The thing they're watching for all day. Your dog is oriented toward you more than you realize. When you move through a room, they track you. When you sit down, they recalibrate. When your voice changes, they register it. When your phone lights up and you look away, they notice that too. Research has established this across dozens of studies. Dogs pay significantly more attention to their owners than to other familiar or unfamiliar humans, not because of simple exposure or proximity, but because of the specific relational bond. A 2012 study published in Animal Cognition confirmed that social familiarity alone cannot account for dogs' heightened attention to their owners. It was only toward the person they were genuinely bonded with that dogs directed this sustained oriented watching. You are the most important visual and social stimulus in your dog's environment, and they are paying attention to you. But here is what they are waiting for. They are waiting for you to pay attention back. Not to be in the same room, which is something. Not to feed them or walk them, which matters. But to stop, put everything else down, and give them the specific, undivided, directed thing that your attention actually is when it is fully present. 2. What it means to actually be present, and why most owners aren't. There is a meaningful difference between being near your dog and being with your dog. The research has formally examined this distinction, and the results are striking. A study led by Catherine Amiot at the University of Quebec at Montreal investigated why studies on human well-being in the presence of pet dogs produce inconsistent results, about 2/3 finding significant benefits, 1/3 finding nothing. The answer they identified was attention. Dogs whose owners treated them mindfully, observing them, interacting with them, giving them focused and present engagement, produced measurable improvements in owner emotional state. Dogs whose owners were in the same room but distracted by screens, tasks, or inward thoughts produced no such benefit. The researchers summarized it directly. What takes place within the interaction, not merely the presence of the dog, is what determines the value of the relationship for both parties. This matters for your dog as much as for you. A dog who lives with an owner who is physically present but perceptually absent, occupied by a phone, a screen, a conversation, the unending scroll of tasks, is a dog who is technically near their attachment figure, but not actually connecting with them. They are near you, but they don't have you. The difference between those two states is not small. It is, in fact, the central experience of your dog's relationship with you. 3. What happens in your dog's brain when you finally look at them? This is where the science becomes remarkable. Research by Ren and colleagues at the Chinese Academy of Sciences, published in Advanced Science in 2024, used EEG technology to measure brain activity simultaneously in humans and dogs during mutual gazing and physical interaction. What they found was that brain activity between humans and dogs becomes synchronized during these moments of genuine mutual attention, with coupling in the frontal and parietal regions, areas associated in humans with joint attention and focused engagement. And critically, this synchronization strengthened with repeated interactions. By the 5th day of shared gazing interactions, the inter-brain coupling was significantly higher than on day 1. Your dog's brain and your brain, when you are actually paying attention to each other, begin to operate in synchrony. This is not metaphor. It is measurable neural architecture. The Nagasawa et al. 2015 science study, the landmark research on the oxytocin gaze loop, established that mutual gazing between a dog and their owner produces an oxytocin surge in both species, the same hormonal mechanism that drives the bond between a mother and infant. The longer the gaze, the greater the surge. And the surge in the owner then increases their affiliation toward the dog, which increases the dog's gazing behavior, which increases oxytocin further. It is a self-reinforcing loop of bonding that requires only one thing to activate: your actual presence and attention. The fMRI research by Carl and colleagues, published in Scientific Reports in 2020, added another layer. When dogs viewed video of their caregiver, not a stranger, not a familiar person, their specific bonded person, it activated brain regions associated with emotion and attachment processing in a way that viewing any other face did not. Regardless of the emotional expression on the caregiver's face, Simply seeing you activates your dog's attachment system. You are coded at a neurological level as the most significant being in their world, and they are waiting for you to look back. 4. The moment most owners miss, and what it costs. Here is what is actually happening in a typical evening in most homes with a dog. You come home from work, the greeting is joyful, for about 90 seconds. Then you put your bag down, check your phone, open the fridge, put something on TV. Your dog, who has been waiting hours for this moment, settles into the orbit of your presence, on the floor nearby, on the couch beside you, somewhere within reach. They look at you periodically the way they always do. Sometimes you glance back. Mostly the attention flows in only one direction. This is not neglect. It is the ordinary pattern of a busy life shared with a dog who is, in most households, deeply loved and reasonably well cared for. But the research on what dogs are specifically waiting for, what activates the bonding systems that make the relationship neurochemically meaningful for them, makes clear that the ordinary pattern is missing something essential. The thing your dog is waiting for costs nothing and takes very little time. It is not a walk, though walks matter. It is not food, though food is necessary. It is not toys or training or even touch, though all of those contribute to the bond. It is a specific kind of quality attention, focused, present, mutual, undivided. You, looking at them, not through them, not past them, not with half your mind somewhere else. You, actually there. And if this is making you rethink what the evening usually looks like, hit like and subscribe. We have been building this channel specifically for this moment. 5. How to actually give it and what changes when you do. The research group led by Amiat structured their investigation of mindful presence with dogs into 2 specific components. 5 minutes of active play, followed by 5 minutes of sitting quietly and fully attending to the dog, observing them, noticing them, being with them without any competing demand on attention. That is 10 minutes. The study found that this duration of genuine focused presence produced measurable improvements in owner emotional state, and based on the behavioral coding of the dog's responses, a qualitatively different kind of engagement from the dogs themselves. This is accessible to nearly every owner. It does not require special equipment, training, money or time that most people don't have. It requires only the decision to stop, to put the phone face down, to turn away from the screen, to close the laptop, and to be there, fully, for 10 minutes, looking at your dog the way your dog has been looking at you all day. What happens in those 10 minutes if you do this consistently is not mystical. It is neurochemical. The oxytocin loop activates. The brain synchrony builds. The REN 2024 research showed it strengthens across days of repeated interaction. The Sunman 2019 cortisol synchrony research established that dogs and owners who share this kind of close attentive relationship develop correlated long-term stress profiles, meaning your regulated calm becomes their regulated calm. The entire biological system of the bond deepens, not through grand gestures, but through the repeated daily act of actually showing up. 6. The thing your dog has been waiting for, said plainly. Your dog does not understand that you are tired. They do not know that your workday was difficult, or that your mind is running through tomorrow's list. They experience time differently than you do, living in the accumulation of moments rather than the narrative arc of weeks. In each moment, the question their nervous system is organized around is the same one it has always been. Are you here? Are you with me? Am I, right now, the thing you are attending to? Most days the answer is, not quite, not fully. You are present, but your attention is divided, distributed, partially withheld by everything else that demands it. And so they wait. The dog at your feet, looking up. The dog who positions themselves in your eye line when you sit down. The dog who drifts towards you when the room gets quiet. They are not being clingy or demanding or poorly trained. They are doing what millions of years of evolution and thousands of years of domestication specifically shape them to do. Orient toward the person they are bonded to, and wait for that person to orient back. The thing your dog has been waiting their whole life for you to do is this. Stop. Look at them. See them the way they see you. Without the screen. Without the half attention. Without the portion of your mind that is somewhere else. Give them 10 minutes of actually being there. Their brain will sync with yours. Their oxytocin will rise. The bond between you, already real, already deep, will become measurably more so. And your dog, who has spent every day of their life waiting for this exact moment, will not waste a second of it.